Hello, guys, and welcome to Gusto Reaction on Gusto TV. I remain your host without no boast, Donny Fesky, right here in the building. And I have with me Big Lala, number one, Lala Daddy Showstopper. What am I calling you today? Lala Daddy or Big Lala?
Anyway, where your mouth first touch. First call.
Now, Big Lala investor. You're welcome. You're welcome. A lot of bad buzz are happening in the industry. From people bragging about being the highest paid, being the richest. You know, some people buying land, saying the land is 2.5 billion naira at Ikoyi. Like everybody, Whiskey also coming out to say that he got paid 1 million USD for the Rolling Loud concerts. Everybody just making different brags about money. Some people are also getting bashed by some acts that they're doing. One of those people is happens to be FA1, one of the OGs in the industry. You know, he's been around for a while. Is DAVIDO still working with FA1? I don't know. I think at some point they had some deals together.
Yeah, I think from what I know of FA is one of the biggest plugs in the music industry, publishing plugs. What's it called? Deals with endorsement deals and the likes.
Just like Polo.
Yeah, yes, just like Polo is one of the power players. And yeah, he does work quite a lot with artists in signing some of these international deals. So yeah.
Recently, Shizzi came out to call him out. He called him a lot of names, said that he got him into Sony publishing deal and the past 6 years. And when he was going to sign the deal, he couldn't allow them to use an attorney. First off, you want to sign the deal, yeah, and then you were told not to use an attorney, to use a certain lawyer and everything. And as a learned person going through the deal, knowing that, okay, Shizzi has been around for a while, so we cannot tell that 6 years ago, Shizzi did not know what was obtainable for him at that point. Was it still right for Shizzi to go ahead with the contract, despite the constraint of being made to use a certain lawyer?
Well, you see this issue about contracts, and I think especially with Nigerian artists is normal. They never look to the future or thereabouts, or we don't do things properly in Nigeria, to be honest. You want to usually everyone goes there, get a lawyer to read your contract. I mean, they've been singing that word for over a decade now. Get a lawyer, get it this, get it that.
Yeah.
And even till today, people still sign things they don't really understand, or things that they've not properly checked with people they trust. And that's a classic example of what we've seen here with Shizzi. Apparently he signed something, he didn't know the implication, and now it's firing back. And we see this a lot with artists, especially in Nigeria, or creators in Nigeria.
Yeah.
When they can't go when things don't go their way with what they've signed, they want to opt out any which way. And this is Shizzi's any which way of trying to opt out.
I said he's been wanting to leave for a while now. Sony told him that before he can leave, if he has to agree, to that. I don't know what kind of contract they had. I don't know what clause was in it. And then we've seen a couple of people come out to support him. Kidominant was one of those people, coming out to say, oh, a lot of people, when they don't want you to rise, this and that. And Tiwa Savage, another very big artist, commented and said, if I start to talk. Now, we also know that Sony also has a Sony deal. Could this be the reason why we've not been really seen so much of Tiwa Savage and Sony? Is there any issue on the ground that we don't know about?
Well, nobody really knows the in total, because Shizzi's one seems to be a publishing deal.
Yeah.
And perhaps he's not getting some sort of value from that, and he wants to opt out. But I think the front that's there is maybe perhaps it is a deal, but it's maybe perhaps not a direct direction deal, and maybe you have to fund through maybe a face company who's the one who's representing. Yeah, so maybe that's why Sony have said, oh, if you want to do this, you have to go through this guy. And I don't know what the main details is, why it's so hard for. I mean, it's been 6 years.
Yeah.
There must have been a clause in the contract that keeps that contract rolling. You get that, make sure that if you really want to cancel one, or maybe the contract is for a long time, but 6 years is a lot of time. And I feel Shizzi, because I mean he's been at it for a long time in the industry, right? He stopped producing for David. He didn't produce as much anymore. Even in the Nigerian scene, he doesn't produce as much. But once in a while, you hear from him with the Wonder Cole. Or with the what's the name, with the Fireboy.
Recently, the Peru.
Yeah, recently. Yeah, but everyone respects Shizzi so much that he's a top producer. Maybe perhaps he's been wanting to do things that he knows the kind of situation he's in, and it's just holding him back. So Shizzi and Efe, they do have a lot of things to talk about. As for Tiwa Savage, unless she says exactly what our own is, I don't know what to say about that. Obviously, there's an issue there as well. We do know that, yes, at one point she was signed, as was a Universal deal. I think it was Universal West Africa. Most of the time, when these things happen, these artists, we only hear the starting, we don't hear the finishing. We hear, oh, I've signed this deal, I've signed. Kidomina will still carry something on his head now, right? But all of a sudden now it's an issue.
It's in Shizzi's camp.
Yes, the same things are happening between the two of them, and maybe and what I see is they are copying the same script. They've probably had the discussion about this whole issue, and they are posting about the same thing. It's a mission to we must jack back from this
by fire by force.
By force. And unfortunately they signed, so nothing we should do. We wait at the tell, we only talk about it. At the end of the day, the power still lies between the two of them.
Looking at it from another angle, there was a time DAVIDO also had a Sony contract, and then we heard that he had to buy himself out or buy off his own part of the contract due to some things that was listed in it. And then we know that Wizkid also Wizkid is still signed to Sony, but then at a point he had some issues with releasing songs that he had to go through Starboy featuring Wizkid, Starboy, and at the point I think they caught him, and then that had to stop. Was Waniko signed to Sony? Because there was a time he also wanted to release one Black Diamond featuring
Waniko was Empire.
Black Diamond featuring Waniko, and then this cannot come out. Is it that these guys do not allow them to drop whatever they want to drop at their own time or at their own pleasure, or it has to go through some certain procedures before these songs has to drop or project?
Well, it's not really the same thing with them, Shizzi and Co. But as regards them, Wiz and David, it was a new territory for not just them, even for the people involved. Those people are not disrespect. They didn't really. Nigerian music or African music was evolving at the time. And they wanted to treat it like it was another upcoming pop record or American artist record. That's why they try to change, for example, the DAVIDO sound. And if you're my one, this is not working. If I continue like this, I'm going to lose my
Son of Mercy.
And things like that. So obviously they had to be strategized. They had to be negotiated or whatever it is. They could not, subject the biggest of the biggest stars in Wiz, DAVIDO to the same terms as an upcoming American artist, scheduling and all those things. Now you can't work with the same schedule as them in America. You get it? So things had to be different, and this is what that's why when Burna Boy signed his Atlantic deal, he was always I signed things at my own time, because obviously he's learned from people's mistake in Wiz and David. But things what they are now with David and Wiz are certainly not the same thing as they were when they first signed. Even their influence is bigger. They themselves as artists are bigger, so they have a pulling factor in making decisions, regardless of the level they are that they're in right now.
So finally, before we go, who is at fault, Ife or Shizzi, or is it Sony we should blame for all of this brouhaha that is happening right now?
We don't know who is at fault, because we know that when they signed the contract, because when the whole thing when it first came up, it was something of pride for them. I'm signed to Sony, without doing the proper thing. Even the most experienced heads in the industry are a victim of these things. Everybody's always singing it, and before you sign it, get a lawyer. But imagine a Shizzi, imagine a
Shizzi
who are complaining about something as something or a mistake that upcoming artists should be making. Those are the issues. They have themselves to blame. And to be honest, me or any music listener cannot help them. It's between them and Efe, and I hope they resolve it soon.
I hope they resolve that one too very soon. You heard from Big Lala, the mistake is actually most likely from Shizzi, getting to sign all of this, where we always clamor that, oh, get a lawyer before you sign a deal, do this and that. And then Shizzi, Kidominant having mistakes that upcoming artists should be having in their career. Guys, let us know what you think about this in the comment section. Who is actually at fault? Is it Shizzi? Is it Efe? Or is it Sony themselves? Sony Publishing? Drop your comments down below and I'll be checking them out. Catch you on the next episode of Gusto Reaction. Big Lala is signing out for the day. See you guys later.